God's holy name. Be so kind as to turn. Sometimes we forget it, but we're in a fight.
Yes, yes, yes.
But the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. They are mighty to pulling down strongholds.
Yes, yes, yes.
I take you 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter. Thank you, Father, for blessing us. It's so good. In 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter, I want to call your attention beginning at the first verse. It says, wherefore laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings.
Yes, yes.
As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. Verse 3 says, if so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious. I'm going to try to. Well, let me go to 5 and I'll be all right. It says, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of God and precious. Verse 5 says, ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house and a holy priesthood.
Yes.
Offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God by Jesus Christ.
Yes, yes, yes.
Have mercy. For a subject on this morning, be so kind, just speak life to somebody.
Yes.
By repeating after me. Say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
Can't nobody hear that? Be so kind as to repeat after me and say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
Oh, neighbor.
Oh, neighbor.
Got milk?
Got milk.
Drink it up.
Drink it up.
God bless you. Tell them like you know what you're talking about. Say, neighbor. Got milk? God bless you. God bless you.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
I know. A lot of us can't drink milk no more. Used to love it, but now it ain't lactose. Call it lactate milk. Some of us can drink that almond milk. Some of us just don't eat flavored milk anymore. But you know, newborn babes, they drink something like milk. If it's not breast milk, it's similar. But they drink something like milk. And just a little bit of that milk is good for you. And raise many a healthy baby.
Yes, yes.
Like that. I don't want to be long, but I just want to share you that doing it your way is just not going to get it anymore. You done messed up too much stuff. You can't afford to keep going down, even though Jesus is the quicker picker up.
Yes, he is.
But some of us have gone so far down, we don't even look like ourselves anymore. some of us have gone so far down that we're ashamed of ourselves now because we're not what we used to be. Some of us have gotten sidetracked. You do know people can get you sidetracked. And before you know it, you done lost your joy, you done lost your peace, you done lost some of your health. Before you know it, you done got messed up in a bad way, and you can't even pull yourself out of it. Have you ever been mad so long? Stay where you are. You gotta come up, you gotta come out. You know you gotta do something. You might not know what to do. The shape that you're in. Thanks be to God. With the cares of the world that messed you up, that changed your situation, God himself will come to see about you and change and rearrange your whole attitude. He'll give you a new reason for new joy. He'll give you a new reason for new peace. And before you know it, you'll be dancing on top of what was holding you up under. He is just that good, just that kind. Let me quickly share with you one of the stories in the Bible. It's in the book of Nehemiah. And the people have been in captivity over 70 some years. And now they're out of captivity, but the place where they lived was in ruins. They didn't know what to do. Nehemiah had not gone into captivity, but had worked at being a child of father. He got a position as the king's cupbearer. And this was in another land, in another nation. But he heard about Israel. He was doing all right for himself. He lived around royalty. He governed himself as royalty. And he felt like if he had to, he could spend the rest of his life there. But then he heard that the kingdom was in disarray.
Yes, yes, yes.
Have you ever been where it looked like everything was going all right, but at the same time you just didn't have the joy that you wanted to have? Everything seemed like it was okay, but yet you didn't have the peace that you wanted to have. See, once you really know Jesus, will really do. If you, someone who's in love with God, you start missing. It look like you can just hear it. There's nowhere near you, but you can just hear it in your mind.
Yes.
Some of the songs of Zion. Before you know it, you usher out some of those songs yourself. Don't know all the words. Something about being around those things of His that give you joy when nothing else can give you joy. It can give you peace when nothing else can give you peace. Sometimes you find yourself saying, "Oh, I sure would like to hear this deacon line out of prayer. I miss hearing this certain song from the choir." And you just find that it just is not the same anymore. And that's because you got a relationship with the Most High God. And He keeps on calling you and drawing you back to Himself.
Preach.
Oh, bless His holy and righteous name. I've been out of town and just could not feel right on a Sunday morning somewhere else. But I don't care what church I'm at. My heart is at everlasting. I'm right there, looking at the clock and thinking about what everlasting doing. I'm in somebody else's church house. Only thing on my mind is what they're doing now. It happens to you when you really start falling in love with the Lord. Nehemiah was there in another land where he just couldn't feel at home. There was an old song that just can't feel at home. And that song goes, "In this world anymore, It's something about when you know him, it's just something about it. Till one day, Nehemiah had to go to the king and said to the king what was really going on. And what sense does it make? He's the king's cupbearer, has a title of prominence.
That's right.
But yet he goes to the king and says, my people in the land where I come from are in disarray. The land that they used to be is not the same anymore. And I just want to go and lend a hand fixing up where they are at. See, it sounds crazy that you would say that to the king and the king would let you go. You're only one person. As far as he knows, you don't know how to build up something that's torn down, in disarray. All the people there can't get it together. What's one person going to be able to do? That's what you would think would happen with some of the members who haven't been able to be here. This pandemic is going on almost a year now. You think maybe after almost a year, they say, well, what's my little voice going to do over there? Well, what's my few nickels going to do over there? But the God I know, little becomes much when you can place it in the master's hands. Oh, I'm going somewhere. Come on. And you see, when you open your mouth to speak,
yes, sir,
God had already started working some things out for your good. And so when Nehemiah asked the king if he could leave, God had already worked on Nehemiah. So Nehemiah, he asked with the heart of sincerity. God had worked on the king. And the king told him, yes, go in peace.
yes, he did.
Gave him something
Gave him all.
to help him
Yes, he did.
on the journey.
Yes, he did.
Then when he got there, he saw something to weep and cry about.
The walls.
Because things
Yeah.
don't remain the same. And I don't care. He knew it was in disarray. Sometimes when you get there, it's worse
Didn't you?
than what you had heard. But he had made up mind that I'm going to do a work for the master. They had torn the city apart.
That's right.
But Nehemiah and others were ready to attack. They owed Israel a good beatdown. Because when Israel was in its strength, Israel had beat many nations down. And some folk, when they see you down, they don't want you to get back up.
Come on now.
And so they were threatening what they're going to do to Israel before they can build themselves back up. But Nehemiah gathered the people and says, we're going to work anyhow. Now, you'll find same as us with Dr. King and a lot of the people who are older now. They said, no, you're going to have to do this by yourself. You're too old for this. We don't want to cause any trouble. If these nations see us building back up, they're going to come and attack us again. And we'll end up being slaves again. I want to tell you, if you don't believe you can, you are already defeated.
Amen.
But if you trust God to make a way out of no way. If you trust God to show up in your storms, if you start speaking life to yourself, I don't care what it looks like, I don't care what it sounds like, it's me and Jesus every step of the way. Day by day, one day at a time, we're going to come up and come out of this. And when we come out, we're going to have something to shout about. Can't no enemy, can't no demon, can't no witch, can't no imp keep us from giving God the best praise that we have. Now, Nehemiah made up his mind and said, with one hand, I'm going to keep my sword.
Yes, he did.
And with the other hand, we're going to lay some bricks.
That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
And while I'm laying bricks, if I got to stop and fight, I'm going to be the baddest brick mason, the warrior in this land. God didn't say you have to do it all, but God did say, don't sit there, do something. Don't wait for everybody else to do it, you do something. And watch God show up and show out in your life. Now, I mentioned Nehemiah for a reason, because Nehemiah built back the wall.
Yes, he
but
did.
Now here, Peter's talking to the people and telling them that you're more than what you have become. He was telling them, now that we got God on our side, let's stop acting like God can't bring us out of the situation that we're in. Stop acting like because you're down, you got to stay down. Because that's not who God is. Scripture says he's the lifter of your head. Scripture says, be ye lifted up, or ye gates of the kingdom, Lord.
Yes.
Shall come in. The scripture says that you can never give up on God. He says, even at a midnight hour, joy comes in the morning. You know the scripture, weeping may endure for a night.
Joy.
But joy comes in the morning. If you're alive and breathing, you're going through something. If you're alive and breathing, you found out that things are not just what you thought they were. But put your trust in Jesus. Hold on to God's unchanging hand. He will bring you up and bring you out. You're going to find yourself that you're around folk that hate you. You're around folk that got their own plan, their own agenda. But God is right there by your side. He just wants to know, do you trust me? Do you trust me with your pain? Do you trust me with your sorrow? Do you trust me with your bad times, your heartaches, your difficulties? Because God says, I will bring you out. And when I bring you out, I'm bringing you all the way out. Here you go. Peter was the right one.
Yes.
At the right time.
Yes.
For the right cause.
Yes.
Because Peter was the same one who cut a man's ear off. He was doing what he wanted to do, but not what God told him to do. And wait on the Lord. God says he will fight your battles. God says he will show up in your storm. God says he will come see about you. God will make you have the victory. God will make you have a reason to get back up again. God says, I won't let you stay down. God says, I'm always bringing you up and bringing you out. that told you, Jesus, you can depend on me. I will not turn away from you. But that same people denied him 3 times. But he was the right one for the job. Because before Jesus went back to heaven, he said, Peter,
Feed my sheep. Yeah. Come on.
feed my sheep.
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
Peter, lovest thou me?
Yes, Lord.
He said, Lord,
Woo.
you know I love
Yes.
you. He said, feed my sheep. Then he said, Peter,
Yes.
lovest thou me?
Yes.
Why did he want to say it 3 times?
Yes.
Because he had denied him 3 times. And in order to bring him back in the fold, he had to ask him 3 times, Peter, do you love me? And if you love me, feed my lambs. I need you to understand you got a work to do. And the enemy has tried to kill, steal, and destroy. But God has not kept you like he kept you for you to act like you don't owe God anything. You owe God everything. So God says, first of all, what I need you to do is give me a praise every chance you get. And I want others to see you lift up holy hands because every time they see you, you become an encouragement to them that I am the door, I am the lamb, I am the light, I am the gate. He said, I am that I am the word of God. I am the resurrection and the life. I am Jehovah God. I will provide for you. I am Jehovah Rapha. I will heal you. I am Jehovah Shekhinah. I'm your righteousness. I'm your banner. I am the great I am. Every time he said I am, you ought to get a little bit stronger, a little bit wiser. You ought to get a made up mind. The God I live, and the God I die. Fight on, Christian soldiers, fight on. We got a battle, we got to win. I'm gonna put my trust in the Lord and strong through the trials. He brought me, when I didn't have friends, didn't have a God, didn't have a testimony. But God kept on bringing us. All I got to tell you to turn that thing upside down. Jesus, my king. Jesus, my lamb. Jesus, my shelter. Behold, there they die. But that's not how this story is. Ellie, what they want, he got us. He got us. He got us. Yes, he did. Just for you. Just for you. Just for you. He said, learn of me. My yoke is easy. My burdens are light. And I'll feed you. I'll feed you. From his own hand, he'll feed you. You can make it. Trust it. Watch God bring you out. God bless you. The doors of the church are open.